Grumble, grumble.
Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and I am back with some more Brimstone content. Today we are looking at the Valkyrie hero class from the Gates of Valhalla Kickstarter. So this was a Kickstarter exclusive hero, I believe. And yeah, let's get into it. We got our cards, we got our minis, and all of our assorted yada yadas. So we'll start right here. Shadows spread across the land as mythic creatures of legend roam the snowy forest. And the thunder-forged warriors of the underworld burst through their gates to attack the realms of men and gods. Odin sends his greatest warriors, the Valkyries, into battle to stem the tide of the oncoming storm. Fierce warrior maidens of divine wrath and ruin, they descend from Asgard to hold back the forces of hell and the seething evil of the darkness unleashed. This hero pack contains everything you need to play as the Valkyrie in your games of Shadows of Brimstone. There are 2 Valkyrie models included, one for the Shield Maiden. Just so you can see that all right. Really cool miniature. And the other for the Avenger. And here is your Valkyrie Avenger. Both really cool miniatures. As well as their large hero character sheet, upgrade and skill trees, etc., etc. Okay, so this is what's really interesting about the Valkyrie set. Unlike most other hero classes, the Valkyrie is by definition always a female hero. Instead of having a male portrait on one side of the hero character sheet and a female portrait on the other side, the 2 sides of the Valkyrie character sheet are actually different versions of the Valkyrie, the Shield Maiden and the Avenger. So this is actually 2 classes in one, which is, basically unlike any other class. The Shield Maiden focuses on defense of herself and others above all else. She wears heavy armor and bears a mythic shield that can be used to prevent damage to herself or other heroes nearby. The Avenger forgoes armored defense in favor of all-out attack. Instead of the mythic shield and heavy armor of the Shield Maiden, she carries a powerful avenging blade that has the potential to cut enemies in half, killing them outright. Oh my god, I haven't actually looked at the gear yet. That sounds amazing. Her combat prowess also gives her a better base defense, even though she doesn't have the armor to avoid damage that does get through. Odin's Champion. As Odin's Champion, the Valkyrie has the ability to challenge an enemy in play as described on the hero character sheet. You can use the Odin's Champion marker provided to select the target of your challenge. An enemy that has the Odin's Champion marker on it as the target of the challenge may only target the Valkyrie. If it already has a target when the marker is placed on it, it will immediately retarget to the Valkyrie, regardless of any normal targeting restrictions. During its activation, the enemy will move to reach the Valkyrie and attack as normal. If its move does not allow it to get close enough to the Valkyrie to attack or within line of sight, it will move as far as possible, then make an attack on any other available target that is adjacent or within range instead. Imagine it smashing at other heroes as it marches towards the Valkyrie. Wow, that's fucking rad. So she has a legit tanking taunt, basically. And then you've got FAQs and notes. Maybe we'll look at those after we look at everything else. So, moving on. Here we've got the character sheet, and as promised, you have the Avenger on one side and the Shield Maiden on another. And you will note their stats and whatnot are, maybe not their stats, but their abilities and their initiative and such are different. These are 2 different heroes. So here's the Avenger. Agility 3, Cunning 1, Spirit 3, Strength 2, Lore 4, Luck 2. She's got initiative of 5. She starts with that ability, Odin's Champion. Oh, good. It spells out exactly how Odin's Champion works right on the card. I was a little concerned that you would have to have this thing out to be able to remember what the hell that does. Yeah, at the start of a turn, if not already in play, place your Odin's champion marker on one enemy model on your map tile. Model can only target you. Both you and the enemy do +1 damage on all attacks against each other. When you or the enemy are defeated, remove your marker. Oh, that's interesting. So that's like the ultimate like boss taunt, like protect your healers or your gambler or whatever while they're fucking around with the dice while you just take blows. Warrior prowess. At the start of your activation, if you have no grit, recover a grit on the d6 roll of 5+. Wow. So, okay, so I wonder if that's one of the FAQs. Because my question is, does that then replace the grit you get for your roll movement? I would assume not. So you still roll for grit, and basically if you fail, then you get a second chance at it. Divine Being. Once per adventure camp stay, prevent a roll you would need to make on the injury or madness table. And she starts with the Winged Helm, the Valkyrie Spear, and the Avenging Blade. She's got Combat 2, Max Grit 2, her range to hit is 5+, melee's 4+. She's got 9 health, but she's got a 3 of defense, which is really powerful. And 11 sanity with 4 willpower. And maybe let's look at her starting items since they're different between the two classes here. So the Winged Helm, Avenging Blade, and the Valkyrie Spear. All right, so for the Valkyrie Avenger, we've got the Winged Helm, +1 max grit. You may use the D8 for escape tests. Cool. Valkyrie Spear, one-handed. You may assign your combat hits to models up to 2 spaces away, even if there are enemies adjacent to you. Once per turn, you may ignore an enemy's tough ability for one of your combat hits. Nice. And the Avenging Blade. Your melee attacks use the D8 to hit. If equipped as two-handed, whenever you do damage to a large size or smaller enemy, leaving it below half health, roll a d6. On the roll of 5+, the enemy is sliced in half and killed. Holy shit. That is fucking rad. So, the Valkyrie Avenger, very cool. Going over to the Valkyrie Shield Maiden, you can see her initiative is only at 4. I think everything else is the same. Yeah, all her other stats are the same. Odin's Champion is the same. Warrior Prowess, but she has Divine Being. Once, is that the same thing? Yeah, that's the same too. She starts with the Winged Helm and the Spear, but she also gets the Armor and the Mythic Shield. So let's look at the Armor and the Mythic Shield. Here is the Valhallan Armor. Armor 5+. Whenever you make 1 or more successful armor rolls, heal 2 wounds currently on you. Holy shit. Damn, that's fucking rad. The Mythic Shield. Once per turn, prevent up to 3 wounds you or another adjacent hero are about to take. Limit 1 shield. Wow, limit 3 wounds once per turn. Very, very powerful. And then again, she gets the helm, +1 max grit, and the D8 for escapes, and the spear that lets her hit at distance and ignore tough. Beyond that, she has range to hit 5+, melee 4+. She's got higher health, but like barely. And her defense is 4+ instead of 3+. That's a big mitigation to her not having that armor. That 3+ defense is pretty solid. And sanity 11 with a 3+ willpower. Let's take a look at the starting upgrades next. Here we go. Divine Defender. Once per turn, add +1 to one of your 2 hit rolls or +1 to all of your armor rolls just rolled. You may also give up your attack to recover an adjacent KO'd hero, even if there are enemies on the same map tile. What? Incredible. Treasures of Valhalla. At the start of each adventure, draw an artifact from a random world for you to use until the end of the adventure. This artifact may not be traded to other heroes or sold during the adventure. At the end of the adventure, you must pay double the listed gold cost to keep the item. Otherwise, you must return it to Odin's vault. Discard it. That's very random. And it could be powerful. You'd need a fuckload of gold. Bringer of Death. Whenever you kill an enemy with a combat hit, gain +1 combat until the end of the turn. Max 5, +5 combat. Wow. +5 combat. So if you're swinging that Avenger shield, slicing through people, you could be kicking some serious ass. Very cool. Here we've got their character sheets. Trying to cut down on the glare here. Upgrade bonus, Valkyrie Warfare. Valkyrie Warfare. Choose an enemy below. From now on, when you kill an enemy of this type, gain +5 XP and up to once per turn, heal 2 wounds. So that's kind of cool. Odin's Charge, 12. You now count as a Viking for team abilities. Add 1 Viking team ability to the pool at the start of each adventure. Very cool. And here we've got her incredible upgrade chart. Divine, Regeneration. At the start of each turn and each day in camp, you may heal 1 wound and 1 sanity damage. +1 strength. Wow. Hand of the Gods. You are immune to corruption hits caused by Darkstone or Darkstone icons on items. +1 spirit. The Chosen. +1 combat and +1 max grit and +1 cunning. And then Aesir Speed. Once per fight, you may activate an extra time at initiative 1. What? +2 move, +2 initiative. So you get an extra attack once per fight. Holy shit. If you combine that with some of that other stuff like the Bringer of Death. Whenever you kill an enemy with a combat hit, gain +1 combat and that sword. Good golly. All right, moving on. The Warrior. Man, that's crazy. Warrior, Norse Fury. Once per turn, you may take up to 2 sanity damage, ignoring willpower, to add the same number of damage to one of your combat hits. +1 max grit. Honored Champion. Use melee to hit when firing a bow, and Shield Maiden, defense 3+, Avenger, melee to hit 3+. Woo! That's nice. You get that melee to hit down to 3+ with the Avenger, and you are just fucking shit up. Stalwart Stance. You are immune to all fear and terror abilities as well as all weather effects. That's pretty powerful too. +1 max grit. Smite Thy Foe. Once per turn, use 1 grit to gain +2 combat. Once per fight, use 1 grit to add +5 damage to one of your combat hits. Whoa. Man, these are great. Protector. Odin's Watch. Once per turn, choose another hero to gain armor 5+ until the end of turn. That hero's armor may not be ignored. Gain 5 XP whenever a hero on your map tile successfully makes 1 or more armor rolls. Huh. Shield Rush. While you have a shield equipped, you are +1 combat and may re-roll escape tests. +1 max grit. Interesting. +1 combat there. +1 combat there. Extra attack there. Man. Valkyrie Shout. Once per turn, use 1 grit to cancel a single enemy hit on yourself or another hero on your map tile, even after defense. +1 strength. And the Thane of Asgard. When you assign a combat hit to an enemy that is not adjacent, you may also assign a free combat hit to each other enemy crossed when counting spaces to the target. +1 to all skills. Wait a minute. When you assign a combat hit to an enemy is non-adjacent, you may also assign a free combat hit. So if you're hitting somebody with your spear and they're 2 spaces away, you basically gain pierce. So if you have them lined up, you assign a free combat hit. That's nice. Death, taking souls. Gain $5 for each enemy that is killed on your map tile, or 10 if large size or bigger. Once per turn, when you kill an enemy, recover a grit. Wow. This part seems odd to me. It's kind of not particularly thematic, but the part where you get a grit for killing an enemy is very thematic and very powerful. Harbinger. Whenever a hero rolls on the injury table, they may add or subtract 1 to the roll. Limit once. When you recover from KO'd, heal 3d6 plus 6 sanity. Holy shit. Army of Asgard. All allies are +1 combat and +2 health. Whenever an ally is killed or a hero is KO'd, recover a grit. +6 health. Wow, those are like the biggest bonuses I've ever seen in terms of sanity and health for sure. Call Valhalla. Once per adventure during a fight, add 3 Viking warrior allies to the board within 3 spaces of you. They are +2 combat and keyword ghost. At the end of the fight, these allies are killed. I don't know what keyword ghost means. You'd have to look that up, which is a little frustrating. I don't know, maybe they could have given you a card or something like that. But yeah, so that's it for the Valkyrie from Gates of Valhalla. An insanely powerful 2-for-1 hero class. You get the Avenger and the Shield Maiden. Let me know what you think in the comments about this character's power level. Seems really strong. And without the, like the Cursed Eternal, I'm sure is strong too, but he's got kind of a downside. Whereas there's really no downside to cutting dudes in half with a single blow and KOing them. I mean, if you think about it, because that works at half health, I mean, you could kill Belial or do like 40 damage to Belial and just like one-shot him. Or is it large or smaller? I think it is restricted, but either way, yeah, large size or smaller. Super powerful. So yeah, let me know what you think about the class in the comments, and I'll talk to you later.